I never thought I'd be one of those people riding into the void, but here I am. I was in a relationship with Alex for 6 years. We lived together for 4. We weren't married, but we talked about it, planned for it, even picked out names for our future kids. He was the one person I thought I could count on. We were a team. We split chores, bills, holidays. He got along with my family, maybe too well in hindsight, especially with my younger sister, Lily. Lily was always the fun one. Loud, unpredictable, a little reckless. I was the planner, the quiet one, the one who kept things stable. We were close growing up, but as we got older, we became different. Still, I loved her, and I thought she loved me too. That's why what happened feels like a bad dream I can't wake up from. It started small. Alex began acting distant. Not in a dramatic way, just subtle things. He stopped texting me during the day like he used to. He stayed late at work more often. He became strangely protective of his phone, which was weird because we never had privacy issues before. I asked him if everything was okay. He blamed stress, said I was reading too much into things, so I dropped it. But then Lily started showing up to our apartment more than usual, sometimes without even texting first. She said she was bored and wanted to hang out. At first, I was happy to see her, but then she started showing up when I wasn't home, saying Alex had invited her to watch a movie or talk about job stuff. That didn't sit right with me. I brought it up to Alex, and he told me I was being paranoid. He said Lily was like a little sister to him. I told myself I was overreacting, that I was insecure, that maybe I was just scared of losing something good. Then came the weekend I'll never forget. I had a work trip, just a Friday through Sunday thing. When I came home early Sunday morning, I walked into a quiet apartment. No noise, no music, just the sound of my suitcase wheels on the floor. I noticed a half-empty wine bottle on the counter and 2 glasses. I thought, did Alex have a friend over? But something didn't feel right. I walked down the hall, slowly, and I swear my heart knew what was coming before I opened the door to our bedroom. I wish I could say I walked in on them, that I caught them red-handed, but the truth is worse. The room was empty, but I found Lily's earring on my pillow and one of Alex's shirts on the floor that I knew he hadn't worn in weeks. I froze. That night, I didn't say a word. I just shut down. I took a walk. I came back hours later. Alex was asleep, or pretending to be. The next morning, I looked Lily in the eyes and asked her, point blank, if something was going on. She smiled. She actually smiled. I didn't mean for it to happen, she said. And that was the moment everything broke. I didn't mean for it to happen. That sentence keeps echoing in my head. I can still hear her say it, like it was some kind of excuse, as if that made it better, as if not meaning to fall into bed with my partner somehow erased the betrayal. I stood there in silence. I think she expected me to scream or throw something, but I just looked at her. I couldn't even cry, not yet. My body hadn't caught up with what my brain had just accepted. My little sister had been sleeping with the man I was planning to marry. How long? I asked. My voice sounded hollow. She looked down. A few months. That was when the tears came. Not loud sobs. Not a dramatic meltdown. Just tears that wouldn't stop. Even as I stayed completely still, I didn't even ask more questions. I just walked out. I didn't confront Alex that morning. I couldn't. I drove around for hours, parked in a grocery store lot, and stared at nothing. I called my best friend, Mia, and she told me to come over. I spent the night on her couch, trying to breathe, try and make sense of anything. The next day, I returned to the apartment. Alex was waiting in the kitchen, like he had practiced his apology all night. I'm sorry, he began. It was a mistake. I never wanted to hurt you. I didn't even let him finish. A mistake. I snapped. A mistake is forgetting to do the dishes, not repeatedly sleeping with my sister. He looked ashamed, or maybe just caught. It didn't mean anything. Oh, that line. Classic. So you risked everything for something that meant nothing? I said. That makes it better. We argued. I cried. He cried. He begged. I didn't care. I told him to move out. He resisted at first, said we should talk, try therapy. I said no. I was done. Lily, meanwhile, went quiet. She didn't text, didn't call. I heard from my mom that she felt terrible, but she wasn't ready to face me. I couldn't believe it. I was grieving a relationship, a betrayal, and my own sister was avoiding me like I had done something wrong. I moved into a sublet 2 weeks later, just to get away. I took only what was mine. I didn't want anything from that apartment. Every corner of it reminded me of lies. Then came the part that hurt in a new way. 2 months later, I found out through Instagram, of course, that Alex and Lily were officially together. Photos of them smiling at brunch. Lily wearing his hoodie. Hashtags like hashtag unexpected love and hashtag new beginnings. I nearly threw my phone across the room. I felt like I was losing my mind. Did they even feel guilty? Did they ever really care about me? I was done crying by then. The pain was still there, but it had hardened. I wasn't going to let them take anything else from me. I blocked them both. On everything. Socials, phones, even email. I didn't want apologies, and I definitely didn't want updates. But of course, that's when update number 1 came in, from someone else. 2 weeks after I blocked both of them, I got a text from my mom. Mom, can we talk? I just want to understand what's going on. I stared at it for a long time. Understand? What's going on? Hadn't Lily told her? Or maybe she'd only told her version. So I called, and it didn't take long before the conversation spiraled. At first, my mom sounded neutral, cautious, like she was walking on eggshells. I just think we need to stay calm about all of this, she said. Calm? I repeated. Mom, they lied to me for months. My own sister. There was a pause. Then she said something that knocked the breath out of me. Honey, sometimes people fall in love in unexpected ways. I felt like I'd been slapped. So you're defending her? No, I'm just saying. Lily didn't want to hurt you. She was scared to tell you. She wasn't scared to do it, though, was she? I couldn't believe it. My own mother was trying to paint this as some sort of romantic misunderstanding. I hung up. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just ended the call. And then I texted her. If you can't stand by me after what they did, please don't contact me. The next few days were quiet. I thought maybe I was finally done with this nightmare. But then update number 1 came from my cousin, Sarah. She sent me a screenshot of a Facebook post Lily made in a private family group. In it, Lily wrote this. I know what I did isn't ideal, but I'm finally happy. Alex and I are together, and we're not hiding it anymore. I hope the people who truly love me will accept that. The comments below were a mix of shock, confusion, and support. Some people were like, you can't help who you love. Others stayed silent. A few defended me, thankfully, but then came a comment from my aunt. We support you, sweetheart. Life is too short to let others control your happiness. I felt sick. This wasn't just a betrayal from Lily and Alex. It was spreading. People I'd grown up around, people who'd seen me and Alex as a couple, were now pretending this was okay. That I was the one being dramatic. That's when the real anger kicked in. I wrote my own post. Public. No drama, no name calling. Just the truth. My sister started sleeping with my long-term partner behind my back. I found out. I left. They're now dating. And for anyone wondering why I've gone quiet, this is why. I didn't disappear. I was pushed. It blew up in the family group. My mom called me again. This time, she was upset that I was airing private matters publicly. You're hurting the family, she said. I laughed. They already did that, Mom. I'm just not pretending it didn't happen. It's funny how betrayal doesn't just break your heart. It breaks your foundation. The people you thought would protect you start asking you to be the quiet one, so everyone else can stay comfortable. But I wasn't going to be quiet anymore. I thought I'd heard the last of Alex. After I exposed the truth, blocked them both, and moved on. I assumed he'd quietly go live his new life with Lily. But people like him, they don't like losing control. One afternoon, a month after everything blew up, I came home from work to find a letter taped to my apartment door. Handwritten. No name on the front, just my name in his familiar, sharp handwriting. I hesitated before opening it, half hoping it wasn't from him. But of course it was. I know you probably hate me. I deserve it. I just want you to know I think about you every day. I made a mistake. I was confused. But you were my home. I read the rest. 2 pages of apologies, guilt, and veiled pleas. He didn't outright say, "Take me back." But it was there, between every line. What we had was real. I'll never find that again. I still love you. I stood in the hallway, holding that letter like it was a piece of contaminated history, and I laughed, bitterly. He still loved me. He had an entire relationship with my sister behind my back. He moved on with her in weeks, publicly, shamelessly, and now he missed me. I texted him one word. Don't. That was it. But that wasn't the end, because update number 2 came soon after, and it changed everything. It started with a message from Lily. Yes, Lily. The last person I wanted to hear from. I don't know what he told you, but I didn't know he was writing to you. I found the drafts in his notes. He's been lying to both of us. I stared at that message for a long time. Then she sent more. Apparently, Alex had told her they were serious now, that he'd cut ties with me, but behind the scenes, he was still obsessing over what we had. Lily had found a folder in his iCloud titled her. It was all old photos of me, screenshots of our texts, and, worst of all, messages he never sent. He wrote that you were the only one who ever understood him, that you were his soulmate. And then Lily dropped the bomb. I don't think he ever loved me. I think I was just convenient, someone close to you, familiar, easy to hurt you with. I didn't respond for a while, not because I forgave her, not because I wanted to comfort her, but because for the first time, she seemed to realize the real damage she'd helped cause. What do you even say when your sister admits she was used to hurt you? I eventually replied, I hope you figure yourself out, but I'm not part of that anymore. But the biggest twist came just days later. Sarah, my cousin, messaged me again. You need to see this. She sent a screenshot from Alex's new Instagram. It was a blurry black and white photo with a caption that read, I ruined the best thing that ever happened to me, and I don't know how to live with that. Thousands of likes, tons of dramatic comments. Apparently, he and Lily were no longer together. She had moved back in with my parents. And Alex, he was spiraling. And you know what? I didn't care. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't feel vindicated. I just felt tired. Because this wasn't justice. This wasn't closure. It was wreckage. And I was finally done standing in it. After the Alex Lily circus collapsed, I expected silence. I even hoped for it. But something strange happened. People started reaching out. Quietly, privately, a cousin I hadn't spoken to in 2 years messaged me. Hey, I just wanted to say, I think you handled this with grace. I didn't know the full story before. I'm so sorry you went through that. Then another, then a childhood friend, even an old coworker messaged me. Your story? It hit close to home. Thank you for sharing it. I've been through something similar, and slowly, for the first time in months, I didn't feel alone. I started going to therapy. My therapist, bless her, was the first person who didn't ask me to understand Lily or Alex. She just listened, and one day, she said something that stuck with me. You were betrayed, yes, but what you're doing now, that's self-loyalty, and it's more powerful than their betrayal ever was. That became my mantra, self-loyalty. Around that time, I did something I never thought I would. I unblocked Lily, not to talk, not to reconnect, just to see. Her page was quiet. She deleted the post about finding happiness. Most of her pictures with Alex were gone. There was only one left. The two of them sitting on a bench, her face turned away. The caption, "We don't talk about that season." I didn't know how to feel. I didn't pity her. I didn't hate her anymore, either. I just accepted it. She made her choices, and I made mine. But the real twist came from someone I truly didn't expect. My dad. I've never talked about him much because, honestly, he wasn't a big presence in my life. Divorced from my mom when I was a teenager. Moved out of state, called occasionally. But one evening, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't pick up. "Hey, it's Dad." He had heard everything, from other family members mostly. He said he hadn't known whether to call or not. But he wanted me to know. I may not have been the best father, but I'm here now. And what happened to you? That wasn't right. None of it. We ended up talking for 2 hours. It was awkward at first, but then it felt grounding. He reminded me that not everyone had turned a blind eye. At the end of the call, he said, "You don't owe anyone forgiveness, but if you find it, make sure it's for you, not them." I've started journaling again, hiking. I'm rediscovering parts of myself that I let fade during those years with Alex. And maybe the most healing thing, realizing I never needed them to break me to finally build myself back. 3 months had passed. I was healing, truly. Not just existing, but living again. Small things brought me joy. Reading in cafes, catching sunsets, learning how to be by myself without being lonely. And then one evening I got the message. From Lily. "Hey, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from, but I was wondering if we could talk. Just once. In person. Please." I stared at my screen. Everything in me said no. But a quieter part whispered, "Closure isn't something you get. Sometimes you give it to yourself." So, after thinking it through, I agreed. We met in a public park. Neutral ground. She looked tired, not just physically, emotionally. She sat on the bench, fidgeting with her hands, barely able to meet my eyes. "I've rehearsed this in my head 100 times, she said, "and nothing sounds right." I didn't say anything. What I did, what we did, I can't undo it. I was jealous and weak, and when he gave me attention, I felt seen. I didn't think about how much it would hurt you. I thought, "You'd be fine. You're always the strong one." That last part hit me, because it was true. I had always been the strong one. The one people leaned on, the one who didn't break, until I did. She took a breath. "I'm not asking for you to forgive me. I know I don't deserve that, but I wanted to look you in the eyes and tell you I was wrong." She paused. "And I'm sorry." Silence. Birds chirped in the trees. Somewhere a dog barked. Life, indifferent, continued. And finally I spoke. "I appreciate that. I do. But I can't let you back into my life. Not now. Maybe not ever." She nodded, tears brimming in her eyes. "I understand." "This wasn't for you," I added softly. "It was for me, to prove to myself that I could look at you and not fall apart." We stood. No hugs, no promises, just a quiet goodbye. Since then, I've rebuilt everything. Not all at once, not without setbacks, but piece by piece. I've made new friends, strengthened old bonds. I even started sharing my story online, which is probably how you're hearing it now. And here's what I've learned. You can love someone and still walk away. You can forgive someone and still protect your peace. You can break and still come back stronger. What they did nearly destroyed me, but it didn't. And for that, I'll always be proud.